let's do it.
I must take a moment today to thank the boldness of our government and our shareholders.
William Hamilton built his venture on the ashes of the Second World War. The copper mine he envisioned was ransacking the First Nations' ancestral territories, drawing the wrath of the local people. It definitely took nerves of steel to stay the course, despite all this hostility. Before long, in the face of William Hamilton's cold and uncompromising stance, the petitions and peaceful protests turned into sabotage, vandalism, and other criminal acts. The industrialists' private properties also encountered the wrath of the demonstrations. Carl Faubert, a veteran of the Korean War, was hired from Montreal as a private detective to shed some light on this whole thing. But at the end of his long journey to northern Quebec, the detective did not only encounter property damage, he also came face to face with the corpse of William Hamilton. The strangeness only kept building throughout the investigation. A powerful, unseasonable blizzard hit the region. Bodies frozen in unbreakable ice appeared. The local fauna began to act strangely and aggressively. Carl Faubert began to doubt his own sanity. The detective felt the weight of a gaze, as if he were at the mercy of a powerful, feral creature waiting for the right moment to attack. Carl's fear was taking over, overpowering his reason. He was giving in to delirium. In that instant, he thought that the dark waters of the lake might shield him from the shapes that pursued him. From there, he had a renewed hope in civilization, or whatever was left of it. Carl knew that on one of these shores stood William Hamilton's lavish mansion, and there the detective had hopes of finding a way out of the area. A phone, a truck, who knows? Under the luxurious paneling and damask carpets, he might be able to find answers to his questions. Carl saw a boat in the distance, clearly piloted by one of his own. Had he finally made it to civilization? His hopes were immediately drowned out by the sound of gunshots. Time to flee again, and fast. Swam without a thought, yet each stroke was desperate. The icy water and his wounds made him feel weaker and weaker. He had to get to shore. And the hypothermia were tearing at Carl's poor body. When he finally saw a light in the distance, he was filled with with a faint sense of hope. Could it be a refuge? Carl was convinced that he would not wake up if he went to sleep in this state. It was probably best to make a fire and take a look at his wounds. A flashlight to chase away the darkness. The batteries, unfortunately, would run out sooner rather than later. Carl had to keep his eyes open to find some on his way.
Richard, we missed each other again. I slipped the money under the door. When you are finished with the delivery, just leave the key in the gazebo. Same place as usual. I'll be gone for a few hours, but I'll see you next in front of the checkboard. Be prepared to get your ass kicked. Charles. Okay. Ammunition. A revolver. I got a gun. Firewood. Place. Hammer. Drinkage. Batteries. Yeah. Date October 3rd, 1970. Construction material delivery. Maintenance work on gazebo. Spare parts, component used to build and repair. Right. So if we got anything else. And then save. Now can I sleep? Yeah. I thought I never got to talk because of this guy. This guy was talking forever. But sleep away the wounds. Oh yeah.
Carl struggled to wake up. His makeshift bandages offered him little time. If he wanted to find the truth, he had to get to Hamilton Manor without delay.
This is my journal?
The journal was the rock to hold on to in a rushing waterfall of memories. A tool Carl was happy to have back.
And I already read that one. There's a camera.
There was something the detective found charming about the mechanism of the instant cameras. Carl left his refuge, knowing that he was headed to a more comfortable but otherwise ominous place, Hamilton's mansion.
Which way to Hamilton's mansion now? That is the question. Yeah, picture of the outhouse. Just in case I'm found dead. You know where I came from. More batteries. Cannot be opened. Thank you, big letter text. I needed that. Yeah.
Black bears were by nature peaceful creatures. At least they were most of the time. Under threat, however, this large, cuddly-looking animal could turn into a frighteningly efficient killing machine.
Second September, arrival at Manor, no travel. Ham in his office until 3 a.m. 23 September, Chuck returns from fenced area, 3 guards at gatehouse. Perimeter rounds at 1:15 p.m., 3:10 p.m., 5:15 p.m. Lots of movement of equipment, abnormal. Ham not present. Stayed at the Manor. 25 September, Ham did not move from the Manor. Ill. 28th September, D-Day. Tonight, Chuck me +4. Saving some more. Really? A tree is going to block my hatchet? That don't seem right. I'm going backwards, ain't I? What's over here? Let's take a picture of this. Yeah.
He knew that wolves do not attack people. Still, he had to be careful. They say that wolves don't attack humans. Still, Faubert thanked his lucky stars that he was not the man who would prove this theory wrong.
Okay. Here's where I was just a moment ago.
Successfully scaring away a bear is great for your self-esteem. The consequence of failure, however, may lead one to wonder whether self-esteem isn't a bit overrated.
This guy really wants to sit there and tell me all this. Spare parts cannot be opened. Why not? Well, let's continue onward, I guess.
Carl tried to put the horror into perspective. Accidents happen, and in the inhospitable far north, It happens more often than not. Nevertheless, a feeling of déjà vu stayed with him, as if the carnage was not over.
Abnormally frozen body, bruise marks on the neck.
The plan suggested that a package had to be retrieved not far away. Carl had to keep his eyes open. An access card, a rather modern piece of technology, especially for a mining complex in the far north. What could it possibly open?
I don't know. Something, maybe. A frozen watch. Frozen on Sunday, October 4th, 1720. Security officer armband. Alright, I think I got everything there that I needed. Anything here before I go through? Oh. Face carved in wood. Inspired by traditional indigenous art.
The security was more reminiscent of a Korean military base than a mining operation.
So, does that mean I'm not gonna go through that? Let's go back and see what we got when we look at this. Yeah, we do. Okay, protective bag, useful to carry radioactive objects. A modified ionization chamber used for detection and measurement of radiation.
A radiation detector. Clearly, Hamilton's people were digging for more than just copper. Keeping this handy tool could prove beneficial.
Does it? Does it really?
What were these mysterious fragments? And why was there a warning about the broom? This letter raised more questions than it answered for the detective.
In Intervention Protocol, Disaster Crisis Contingency Hamilton Mining Corporation. To the employees of the Emergency Intervention Unit, in case of an explosion or a disruption with the matter, quickly retrieve the secured box located in your coverage area. With the device, locate the fragment to collect without delay. Beware of the matter's volatility. Under no circumstances should you get close to the broom. Collect the fragments with the mine's usual protocol. The mine's special lab is the only safe place to bring back the fragments. Okay, so I do go through. Okay, so many options. Alright, let's go back this way, and I'm going to go over here because I got a key card, so I could probably go through there. I don't need to go back that way at this moment, I don't think. Okay, no. Inventory. Oh, I had to hold it. Another revolver. Some more batteries.
A gas mask.
Gas mask.
Carl had tried out older models as an infantryman. He hardly saw the need for such equipment to protect against simple ore dust.
First aid kit. Sweet. Already looked like ass mess. So, I guess that's all that's here. And I'm starting to get cold. I need fire soon. Okay. Something's picking up over here. We're getting some pretty high radiation rating. No radiation detected down here. But can I even go over here?
Carl's intuition stopped him. Somehow, he knew that this road would lead him to ruin.
But how do I know that it would lead me to ruin? You're just gonna tell me, oh yeah, it'll lead you to ruin. You'd definitely be ruined. Well, nothing over there. Oh, am I at the manor?
This was the mansion of the late William Hamilton. No doubt about it. There was no other rich industrialist in the area to have a sumptuous mansion built in the middle of nowhere.
Are we sure about that? A lot of people think about, hey, let's just build something that's in the middle of nowhere. A lot of people think about that. Okay, the doors are frozen shut. There is nobody in the vehicle. They were about to leave. There's nobody in the vehicle, frozen shut. Hockey card.
Si vous entendez ceci, ce message est crucial. Trouvez un endroit où vous mettre à l'abri. Ne sortez qu'en dernier recours. Si vous avez à sortir, armez-vous et méfiez-vous de quiconque porte les couleurs de la Hamilton Mining Corporation. Tenez-vous le plus loin possible de la faune. Les animaux sont devenus extrêmement agressifs. Je répète, tenez-vous le plus loin possible des animaux et méfiez-vous de quiconque porte les couleurs de la HMC. Si vous entendez ceci, ce message est crucial. Trouvez un endroit où vous mettre à l'abri. Ne sortez qu'en dernier recours. Si vous avez à sortir, armez-vous et méfiez-vous de quiconque porte les couleurs de la Hamilton Mining Corporation. Tenez-vous le plus loin possible de la faune. Les animaux sont devenus extrêmement agressifs. Je répète, tenez-vous le plus loin possible des animaux et
The
méfiez-vous de
worm.
quiconque porte les couleurs de la HMC.
More batteries. Locked from the other side. Key required.
Si vous entendez ceci, ce message est crucial. Trouvez un endroit où vous mettre à l'abri. Ne sortez qu'en dernier recours. Si vous avez à sortir, armez-vous et méfiez-vous de quiconque porte les couleurs de la Hamilton Mining Corporation. Tenez-vous le plus loin possible de la faune.
So,
This letter, found in the cabin, mentioned a gazebo. The key to the mansion would likely be there.
oh, I knew that. Nope. Yeah. Locked from the other side as well. Can't be opened. Okay. Someone was either arriving or leaving. So, okay. Same thing.
With with all this chaos, Carl was sensing a hurried departure.
Are we sure they were in a hurry, or... I don't know if they were in such of a hurry. More batteries. Firewood. Fireplace. Saving time. Take me a good old drink before I continue watching a fire. It's staying warm. Okay, so we continue on. What is in the kitchen? Phone? No signal. Okay. Nothing of interest in these drawers. First aid kit. Okay, so what we got? Let's see. To whoever finds this notebook, please note that since I lost my first journal, I had to draw on my foggy memory. To write the notes summarizing my first day in Menistan. The essentials are there, but be warned that this is no simple story. On October 5th, 1970, I left Montreal in a response to a call from William Hamilton, a wealthy copper mine owner who complained of vandalism on his properties near Lake Mincini, 800 kilometers to the north. The road was long but beautiful, with large forests and plenty of lakes and rivers running along it. Nice change of scenery for a city dweller. Near destination, the main road was closed, but after 8 hours of driving, that wasn't going to stop me. I broke the lock and continued on my way. I narrowly avoided a car zigzagging in the opposite direction. The encounter pushed us both off the road and I passed out. When I woke up, Manston was now under several inches of snow. The other car was nearby, but its driver had disappeared. I drove back to the general store where I had an appointment with Hamilton. Once there, I found my client shot dead. There were traces of violence inside the store. His case of vandalism had taken on unexpected proportions. William Hamilton was not particularly well liked by the locals. His copper mines were widely contested by the Crees and environmentalists in the province, but who could hate him enough to commit this crime? My investigation led me to the discovery of the buried bodies of Laura, a young woman from the area. At the local medical clinic, I found evidence suggesting that Hamilton accidentally shot her while on a hunting trip. Dr. Pure had tried everything to save her, but in vain. He witnessed a plot to cover up the incident which infuriated him, so he decided to act. Boiling with anger, the doctor murdered William Hamilton on October 5th, 1970. All the pieces were there for justice to be done, but if only that had been my only concern. Exploring the area, I discovered much more striking anomalies, people frozen in a kind of thick, unbreakable ice. The strange substance caused me dizziness and hallucinations, the likes of which I never experienced. Around the four petrified people, I found twisted rifles, claw marks, and several other hints of superhuman strength. It was like I was living through a nightmare, but one that you can feel in your bones. What kind of tragedy had struck Manistan? Blizzard and ice were not the only hostile elements in the Manistan woods. The fauna was also unusually agitated and violent. Wolves attacking humans so gratuitously was unheard of and chilling. Fortunately, these beasts were easily avoidable, but the more I searched, the more I discovered that there weren't the only creatures roaming around. I felt followed by something bigger and more powerful than nature. Kind of nightmarish half man, half beast creature seemed to be responsible for most of the atrocities I encountered. I could hardly believe my eyes, and it still feels so surreal as I write these words. I felt that thing chasing me, hunting me, as if it had an infinite thirst for revenge, but against what? Against whom? At that moment, survival meant escaping from this nightmare. Lake Manasu. I managed to get on a boat and escape from the beasts on Lake Manasu. This lake connects directly with Leech Lake, which surrounds Hamilton's manor. I hope to find people alive there or some way to communicate with the outside world. It's about time this misadventure came to an end. Several boats and debris are floating on the lake, but no sign of the pilots. Armed men are sailing on the lake and seem to be shooting at anything that moves. Who are they? Did they shoot the others? I had to run away and leave all my equipment behind. Who can I trust now? I found a wrecked vehicle and its frozen driver standing upright on the side of the road. I noticed marks on the frozen man's neck. They suggest he died a few hours ago. He's also wearing a Hamilton Mining Corporation badge. Why would mining company staff carry guns and some kind of radiation detector? The security measures seem excessive for the region. A temporary camp was set up in the middle of nowhere. Someone left surveillance notes. There was someone who was very interested in Hamilton's activities. Why? I need to go back. Hold on.
The locals despised Hamilton, as they were all perfectly aware of his shady dealings. Rarely had warmth felt so good to Carl Faubert. He felt as if he wanted to laugh, cry, and sleep all at the same time.
Si vous entendez ceci, ce message est crucial. Trouvez un endroit où vous mettre à l'abri. Ne sortez qu'en dernier recours. Si
Okay.
vous avez à sortir, armez-vous et méfiez-vous de quiconque porte les couleurs de la Hamilton
There are
Mining
signs of
Corporation.
violence everywhere, blood on the counter, in the kitchen.
Les animaux sont devenus extrêmement agressifs. Je répète, tenez-vous le plus loin possible des animaux et méfiez-vous de quiconque porte les couleurs de la HMC. Si vous entendez ceci, ce message est crucial. Trouvez un endroit où vous mettre à l'abri. Ne sortez qu'en dernier recours.
Added to the mayhem was violence. Carl understood that a tragedy had occurred here. Carl could not decide which was more frightening, the mysterious impulse the inhabitants had to escape, or the inexplicable way in which their escape was interrupted.
They have a 4-course meal up in this fridge. Look at these veggies. Why is everything so nicely preserved? I'm just gonna leave the fridges open? Okay. Crossword, only a few squares are
Carl
filled.
was overcome with a strange emotion. The crossword puzzle was in French, so he guessed it was the work of a Hamilton employee, and not Hamilton himself. From a simple case of vandalism to a mysterious murder, Carl found himself right in the middle of a battlefield. What could possibly await him now?
A Man in His Sin, 1933, novel by Claude Henry Grignon. Probably said it wrong, but hey, Grignon. Record Le Classicals, rock and roll Quebec band. Rarely used television. No signal. Another hockey card. Batteries. Finding Maggie. Crime novel written by William Hamilton's son Henry. Why is Henry's last name Esther? What is it? Esther. Something like that. Some ammunition for a rifle. Some spare parts. Ammunition, batteries, coat hangers, batteries. Locked from the other side. White is inching towards defeat. Record Bookends, musical album by Simone and Garfunkel, an American rock group. The Wild Hunt, hunting and fishing magazine. What side of the house is this at? Locked from the other side. Guess with all the snow, I can't get in there. Understandable. Okay. Oh, hey. Can I open this? Will it open? Yeah. I got that open. Okay. Yeah, I was pretty sure I was already here. Through here. Look from the Other side. That's how you crouch. Can't move that though. This is to the green room. Code's collecting dust. Code's collecting dust.
Carl could feel his muscles weakening, his breath wheezing, his body going numb. What was happening to him? The floor was rocking. The walls seemed to be running from Carl's hands as he tried to steady himself. Something was not right. Carl's thoughts were twisting in his head, making him dizzy.
Alright, I got a photo of the hand on the door. It's a very dark hand, but hey, found one. Creation is intense. Some ammunition. Batteries. Cup of tea with traces of lipstick on its rim. Dystopian novel, 1984 by George Orwell. Not locked anymore. Okay, so let's go through here. Hey, quality Cuban vodka. Prestigious bottle of spirit or spirit. I don't know. With high alcohol percentage. I know it's like Sprit or Spirit. Something like that. Don't judge me. It's been a while since I looked from the other side. Since I have messed with the alchemols. Up. Up. Ah. Special key is required. The mansion's massive library Hold on. Okay, bullet holes in the wall. What happened here? In one hallway of the mansion, the radiation detector was triggered, and I suffered a dizzy spell followed by various hallucinations. During that brief moment of delirium, I saw a clearly frightened man running from one room to another. On the path he took was a bloody handprint. It's quite real and invisible on one of the doors. My detector is leading me further on the other side. I should be careful. The mansion's massive library is filled with books on medicine, rare metals, and neurobiology. Hamilton was also interested in radiation. The central globe seems much more sophisticated than its geography puzzle. Am I about to have to do this puzzle?
Carl knew how eccentric older millionaires could be, with more money than they know how to spend it. But never could he have imagined such a sophisticated puzzle.
Ah, okay.
Carl Faubert made a profession out of reconstructing a whole from seemingly incongruous parts. This reconstructed globe forced him to recognize how much more complex the mystery that was currently plaguing Manistan was in comparison.
Alrighty. My dearest William, I understand the pain you feel. Rachel, as she stood between us, already pressured you into guilt. I'm not blind. Ever since she took her own life, she appears in all of your silences. She was your wife, and to you, I am nothing. For this reason, I will accept whatever you decide regarding you and I. I just hope that you will respond to this letter. I would simply like you to remember the first time we met, that small cabin which had welcomed us despite how nervous we were, and which had made us feel like the whole world outside had ceased to exist. I want you to remember the perfection of our movements, of their authenticity. I don't know why that doesn't sound right. I'm probably saying it wrong. You cannot be mistaken with that much passion. I know all about the cruelty people use when they talk about you. When they criticize the mine and its operations or your investments into innovative scientific research. I know you do all of this with the same passion you possessed that night in our cabin. A passion I know to be real, strong and good. Don't let remorse consume you. I want you to know that I cried over Rachel's death. I also felt ashamed, but we have to move on in order to embrace happiness, even if it's as simply is the contentment that we have left together. I respect your decision about our future and understand why you are so cold towards me. I hope that all the love this letter carries will somehow bring warmth to your heart. I beg you to answer me. I will be impatiently waiting, my dear and lovely William. Yours truly, Cynthia. Ooh. Hidden key. Opens the door somewhere. I know a door. Medicine book. A note is written on the back. To my American friend, if I cannot get you to rest, let's at least get you to learn something new. Warm regards, Dr. Claude Buepure. Buellpour. Pure or something. Encyclopedia listing psychotropic drugs and their effects on the human mind and body. If I could speak, I would be great. Duh. Book covering the depth of the local Quebec fauna. EU wildlife is among the richest in Canada. The territory is home to many of Quebec's iconic animals, including moose, brown bears, and beavers. They're rather shy by nature, but a keen observer hiking through the woods is sure to spot a few. Okay. The bookshelf is too heavy to be delivered from here. Ah, come on. Record, timeout. Jazzy record by the Dave Brumo Quartet. Batteries. A hole in a window suggests that it was broken by a projectile. Alright, so that looks like where I'm going to end this here. Oh, I really hope that you have enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Always remember that my name is Jack the Mellow, and to keep it mellow, and if not to Jack that Mellow, and I will see you later. Bye!